Okay, so we've got 3 sticks joined together, we've formed 3 joints, and we can see whichever way up we put the triangle and press down on it, it's a nice stable shape. Very versatile, very simple and very stable, which is why we see triangles in so many different structures. And in due course, one of the things you need to look at is how structures made up of horizontal beams and vertical columns, which creates naturally rectangular spaces between, can be turned into triangles for the addition of, or the creation of shear strength within the structure and resistance to collapse. Okay. With this, we can, if we want, we can make it a more complex 3D shape, 2D shape, beg your pardon. So I can get some extra stirrers, and I can put them in here. So it's all falling apart on me now. Back where it came from. It's one thing you have to be a bit careful of when you're doing this. There we go. Move these 2 apart. Get another elastic band and attach them together. And what we'll do, we'll end up making a slightly more interesting looking structure, which immediately brings to mind a very famous railway bridge to me. If you go up to Scotland, you'll see it. There we go. So we join those 2 triangles together, and on the one hand, that's starting to look like part of a girder, perhaps, but also, this is what it reminds me of, a section of the Forth Railway Bridge up in Scotland, where you've got large frames that are made repeating this shape, okay, to span across the river. Okay, so you can make this as big as you want. You can change the proportions. You can slide it down, see what difference that makes. Does that look like possibly a column with a canopy? All right? Anything you like. But have a little bit of a play around and see what happens when you add extra sticks. And also look at the joints as well. Clearly they become more complex, more members arriving at them. But what also happens, keep a check on what happens to the members in between. Do they start buckling and twisting themselves and getting out of shape? And what happens if the elastic bands are tight or loose? Does that give you more freedom of movement? And does that in itself then have an effect on what happens to the members themselves? So have a little bit of an experiment with that and see what you come up with.